Hey everyone, it's your boy Captain Hunter coming at you again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you do me a favor. That is hit that rate, subscribe, and share button. Hit that rate, subscribe, and share button. I got into a fight with an angry hornet's nest. I am the guy who kicked the hornet's nest, right? So I have a hornet's nest that I found in my house, in my drop ceiling in my house. And I went to do battle and they stung me. And so that's what's up with my eye. So I'm going to try to get through this before it swells up anymore. So I have a question. So here is an article that came up in Essence magazine. Is it wrong for a man not to want to date a single mom? Some men prefer not to get involved with women who have children. While a preference is fine, the messaging to justify it can be problematic. We are going to read through this article, and there's a video that's embedded in the article that we're going to read. So a little bit about me. I came from a single mother. This woman who authored this, Miss Elizabeth Ayula, is embedded in article. She's going to address that many of the men that she's talking about or have these preferences came from single parents, and that'll become more apparent as we get to the article and watch the video. So again, I came from a single mother. I married two single mothers. And both of them were divorcees, and the situations didn't work out, but it is what it is. So I want to make a distinction between what is being said and what's going to be perpetrated in this article. I think that it's going to become apparent is that no one is saying that women who have children are less than because they're single mothers. That's not the message. If that's what's coming off, then either there's a miscommunication or there's a misunderstanding or mishearing. I can still hear those freaking hornets buzzing. I got to get more. I soaked the hornet's nest. I'm sorry to vent right here. I soaked the hornet's nest, so I'm waiting for it to kick in. Soaked it with hornet killer, but I'm waiting for it to kick in. So back to this. I had to digress for a second there. So no one is saying that they are worthless as human beings, that they have marketing jobs, or they're teachers, or they're hairdressers, or they're police officers, or corrections officers, or entrepreneurs, consultants, whatever they are. If they're single parents, that they're less than as human beings, or important on their jobs, or don't deserve love, attention, and respect. I received pushback when I stood up for Miss Courtney Michelle, saying these exact type of things. No one is saying that you don't deserve it as a human being. Your value in particular to a man who is making good money and has many of the qualities that women like: tall, dark, handsome, making good money, etc., etc. Your value to him as a mating partner, as a dating partner, is diminished because of certain aspects. And this is talking about preferences, as this article is going to talk about. That man will have preferences. I have said that if you are a single man, 35, 40 years old, you got yourself together, maybe you're a divorcee yourself, either your children will live with you or children will live with an ex, or whatever your circumstances are that brought about your single fatherhoodness, that you should consider. I think it would be okay for you to consider dating a single mother. You can come together and create a nice blended family. At the same time, my son, happy birthday to him, is 27 years old, single, with no kids. I would not advise him to date a single mother. My daughter, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that she does not become a single mother, because I understand the problems and difficulties that it has with that. And we have to try to break the cycle, as the man is going to say in the video. So I'm sorry that that's misunderstood. I'm sorry that that's going on, but it's not about that. Myself, I'm a 50-year-old man. My children are raised in their 20s. I personally, what I think find many people attractive, the place that I'm at in my life, building a consulting career, former police officer, building a life coaching career, things along those lines. We're looking to travel. A single mother, particularly one whose children are, school age, is not for me. You know, you got your children would have to be old enough for us to go away for a weekend or for a week or two, right? Because that's the place and stage where I'm at. Not saying that women have no value or that they can't be good partners and mates to someone who's in their bracket. That's not the argument at all. The argument is that people have their preferences and they should be able to abide by those preferences. So again, that's not the argument. Let's stick to what the argument is, right? So again, if you're a single man, do what you got to do. So let's read through the article, and there's a video, as I mentioned, that's embedded in it, right? My biggest fear was becoming a single mom. This is by Elizabeth Oyula in Essencemagazine. I worried that taking on that role would shatter my dreams of raising my kids and grandchildren with the love of my life. Despite my best efforts, my fears came to fruition, and I've been tasked with reimagining what love and family look like. One of my insecurities during the incipient stages of dating as a divorcee with a child was how my market value, in quotations, would go down. That insecurity isn't wildly abnormal for women like me, and we can all guess what fuels that. Think podcast bros, right? That's us, podcast bros. I'm going to try to get through this before my eye swells up anymore. They freaking stuck me under my eye. Raised by single moms. Think podcast bros, raised by single moms, dragging today's single moms through the mud. There's an article to click on that. I'm not going to click on it right now. Think high value men, in quotations. Men in group chats lamenting the audacity of women asking them to pay for a sitter. Think episode 350, trash of the late Kevin Samuels, telling single moms they are close to worthless in the dating market. He didn't say they were close to worthless. He didn't say that. What he said was, again, this is miscommunication, either accidental or deliberate. It's miscommunication and misrepresentation of what he said. He said your value to, in particular, high value men has gone down. You may be 10 as far as beauty, but that 1 or 2 children make it go down. I'm not saying that you're worthless and no one should love you. Let's get the message right. Think of a video floating around and from Owens put a ring on it. If a man saying he's too high value to settle for a single mom, I think I've got my point across. But please let me know if you'd like me to continue. So we're going to play the video here. Let's start it over.
You may have maturity. I felt like you don't have authority. You have a responsibility, but no authority. That's what I feel.
Those are some strong words, but Joya?
Yes.
You didn't ask for another date with him. What was the turn on?
Specifically, the turnoff was when I asked that question about would you date a single mother? And Jacoby, you proceeded to tell me that basically you're a high value man and you are too good for a single mother. However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that.
He basically said that. And, I do have to say that the problem in the messaging can get confused on both sides. If you listen to Kevin Samuels and you thought that, man, okay, I don't have to settle for this woman, or, you think it's okay to kind of crap on these ladies on your way out the door. And I think that's unfair. And that's where this message comes from. This whole thing comes from, right? This is the message that she received, that basically she said basically that you think you're too good for them. I mean, listen, stick to your preferences, and just say, listen, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. No shade, no disrespect, but this is not the place that I'm at in my life. I want my own family without the attachments of another family, right? As I've heard this before, and I think that it's true that almost like dating a single mother can almost be like being in a poly relationship, right? Because if the mother, and this goes for mother and father, it's not either way, but that other party can say something, do something, not do something that affects your partner, your spouse, and that can upset the complete atmosphere in your home. So why would you intentionally sign up for that if you don't have to do it? So as a man who's high value, whatever you're making a year, and you know what you are, why would you sign up for that? Again, my son, who's trying to make it in this world, right, trying to navigate in this world and become this person who's highly sought after, I would not advise him to sign up for something in which individuals are able to influence his home. And having done it twice, I can tell you that that's true. The atmosphere of your home, that the all these changes can come in, and I wouldn't sign up for that again either. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't advise anybody else to do it.
A single mother's not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair, and it's very.
She is good enough to raise me. Okay, she's a good person. It doesn't diminish your personhood. It doesn't diminish your personhood. It doesn't diminish that. It diminishes your value to a man who's looking to create a family. And this may sound harsh. It doesn't mean that you can't go out there and get a job or become successful, or that you don't deserve love at all. But in some people's eyes, it just means that, listen, this is not something I want to deal with. And a single mother may have done a good job and makes her a good person, and it makes her a good mother. But it doesn't mean that they might be a good mate or spouse to someone else who's not looking to have these different types of ties into their life.
Sensitive to women out there who have children.
All right, so just because it's a cycle, I wanted to continue.
It doesn't have to continue.
So what I'm saying is that
it's more about, why would you cut off and say that single women are not on the same level?
What you're supposed to learn from is history. So you're a very intelligent woman. You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if you know, as a woman growing up, you know there's a less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. Using condoms.
What's that got to do with your choice?
Okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue having this child because I'm not getting married. I a better chance of me having a successful life.
You're speaking of me.
That's what I'm thinking.
So you were raised by a single mother.
Yeah, I don't know if you meant to personalize it like that, but and then he's advocating for, deletions and all that. I'm not exactly sure that's the best route to take to get your point across. Just stick to preference, and he's going to get to the preference in a second here.
Yes. And
Is your mother still alive?
I struggle. My mom's still alive.
Did she struggle or did you struggle?
Both of us struggle.
Okay, so your words that echoed all around social media, and I want to make sure that we have this clearly, were, I'm a high value man. I've done things to step up my echelon, and I'm not going to settle for a single mother.
Yeah,
Did I have that correctly? I want to be clear.
Yeah, it would be settling.
Right. So what makes you think you're a high value man? The car you drive?
No, the value I put out into the world.
What about your character?
I have great character. I built myself to basically have better choices. You want to know why? Because women can choose and make a choice.
They can
say, I don't want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
They can.
And then what are you doing?
But we're not talking about that. That's not the situation at hand.
The situation is hand is about preferences, and you don't like his preferences. You don't like his preferences. And there are women out there who have who have preferences, and their preferences for whatever. And there's no problem with that. But the moment a man speaks his preference, it's a problem. And you don't like, and it's the problem seems to be triggering this one specific thing. But if he talked about, women who wear nose rings, that would be a preference. I don't want to date a woman who wears nose rings.
That's not the
woman can say,
conversation.
I want to date a man less than 5'8", and a man could be 5'4". Do they care about
what does that have to do
ostracizing all of those
with
men?
anything?
If a fat man is sitting here, he can be a fat man, right? But if a fat woman is sitting here, you would say, oh no, we're body positive. Oh no, we can't say that. We can't. It's all about picking her up. So every time it's saying something for a man,
bro,
it's down.
You got a lot on your back.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
So what I want to be clear, not just for you, but for everybody out there, is the car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high value man.
Definitely not.
We are all defined by the sum of our deeds and our character, and you, brother, are coming up to the sum of 0.
Okay. So shame, insults, guilt need to be right. Shaming this man. So a 5'4" guy who's got great deeds, he's done a bunch of things, and his character is phenomenal. Is he still a worthy individual? Right. He's got the college education. He's got his own. He drives the bus. He owns the bus. He's got a fleet of buses. He's 5'4". Is he still this person? I mean, this is where the message. It's deflection, it's anger, they don't like it, and all this type of thing. So you have to be able to look at that.
Amen.
Okay, so I think that's the end of that. So let's continue on with the article here. Is it wrong for men not to want to date a single moms? Absolutely not. As a woman raising my son alone, I can admit that dating a solo parent comes with tons of responsibilities and unique challenges, especially if you plan to build a life with them. Saying single moms aren't your preference because you don't want to be a step parent, deal with blended families, have to work around a mom's schedule, and accept not being a woman's number one focus is fair. I can respect it. However, saying it's dating a single mom is lowering your standards implies that single moms are less valuable, and that simply is infallible nonsense. The issue I have is with the tone of the messaging and the underlying toxic belief systems that amplify. Right. Again, there's a drifting here. It's not saying that you don't deserve love, respect, and honor as your value as a human being or even as a mother. It just means that generally the type of man that you're looking for is not what he wants. And to say that a man that you don't want to date a guy who's 5'4", is that somehow indicating that he is less valuable as a human being? That's we gotta have it both ways. This is about preferences, right? So here's an advertisement I want to bring up here. Where black women come first, right? This is Essence. Where black women come first. So sign up for that. Where black women come first. So this is all things targeting black women. And if you are a black man who's in this space, then the message. Then are we allowed to have our own message? And this is where we come to as an argument here. So again, I'm trying to make men the best versions of themselves that they can be. That's my intention. But sometimes in order to be the best version of yourself, we have to explore outside sources. As mentioned, so many of these men were raised by single moms, yours truly, and it seems their sentiments are projections of the struggles they endured in their homes. And we did struggle, and we don't want to be a part of that. And I wouldn't advocate anybody take that responsibility on. That could range from having absent fathers, witnessing ongoing conflict between both parents, feeling like they had to choose sides, or not getting enough time with their father. All of these things can be realities of single-parent homes, and I agree, they suck. If you've experienced that, a natural response is to condemn this upbringing or to try not to repeat the cycle. However, when it's expressed as toxic rhetoric, like dating a single mom is lowering my standards, which I've heard, it becomes both unkind and polarizing. Dating a short guy is lowering my standards, right? So let's replace some of these words. Is dating a guy who's 5'4" lowering your standards? Is dating a guy who makes $60,000 a year lowering your standards? Got to be equal here. It also feels like misdirected anger. You loathe the single moms, but have nothing to say about the responsibilities of sometimes subpar or deadbeat dads. Well, according to the CDC, black fathers are the most involved fathers. So, I mean, what are we talking about here, really? And in this space, and particularly this channel, we are uplifting men, doing the best we can to make sure that these people are not subpar human beings at all. And we want them to be present fathers. We want them to be the best coworkers, the best bosses, the best neighbors, the best men that they can be. And part of that is being a good good father who exemplifies strength, masculinity, love, empathy, affection, all these different types of things. And it's there financially as well as physically as well as emotionally. Totally agree and totally want that for all men and all dads out there. You should do that. And so some of us have something to say about that. For those arguing, you should have chosen a better baby daddy. All right, she's paying a lot of attention to the manosphere here. It's not my job to raise someone else's child. Maybe you're right. There's no maybe about it. Listen, if it's divorce, nothing you can do about it, right? You thought it was going to work out, nothing you can do about that. It's not my job to raise somebody else's child. That's a true statement. Accountability is needed when we as women choose terrible fathers. I'm glad she's saying that. But accountability should not mean condemnation, and mistakes also don't make us less worthy of respect. I agree. You deserve to be loved and to be respected. 100% agree. Men who devalue women because they're single parents also show a lack of range when it comes to critical thinking, because single motherhood can happen to anyone. Anybody. Can it? It isn't reserved for women who have one-night stands without protection. There are widows, women who are abandoned by their partners, domestic abuse victims who escape with kids, women who unsuccessfully fought for marriage that was irreparable, irreparable, and those who were brave enough to decide single motherhood would be better than loveless marriage. Now, how it came about is nothing to be ashamed of. Agreed. You shouldn't be ashamed. Shouldn't be ashamed. So this says this is an advertisement to subscribe, I guess, to the emailing list. I'm not sure the emailing list or whatever. But remember before, the other advertisement was to sign up because this is where Black women are forefronted. And here the advertisement says where Black culture, community, and consciousness meet. It's Black culture and community. Are Black men part of the community? Which one is? So Black women are first, but this is where the community comes to meet. So we gotta get on the same page as to what we're doing, who we're talking to, and how we go about our branding and our message. What I also find intriguing, continuing with the article, is that there's a possibility that these same men who look down on single moms will possibly create single moms themselves. We're saying we shouldn't do that. Whether you're in a marriage, don't do anything to sabotage your marriage. Certainly don't go out there being irresponsible with your seed and spreading it all around. Don't do that, right? So the guy in the video was apparently trying not to do that, right? Marriage is a relationship that involves kids break down every day, and in the process, you create the very thing you hate. Self-fulfilling prophecies can be a problem. That said, I haven't had problems finding dates or people who want a serious relationship as I parent my own. So there are certainly men out there who are open-minded and capable of seeing the value in women who work hard to provide a good life for the children. As a matter of fact, an eHarmony survey found over half of male online daters would be happy to date a woman with kids. So if you're a single mom reading this and feeling discouraged, block out the negative Nathaniels. I don't know if that was the guy's name in the video. And go where the love is. Agree? Well, you should go where the love is. And I would be cautious of individuals. Well, maybe the eHarmony survey, if it was anonymous, maybe they are telling the truth. Okay. And listen, I definitely agree that there's some people who don't mind it, who have no problem with it. And more power to them. No more power to them. Single mothers deserve respect. We are parents on duty around the clock, especially if dads are absent or slack. Many of us are excellent caretakers, home managers, as well as compassionate, loving, and can also hold down the fort on our own, even if we'd rather have help. It's fine not to want to date a single mom, but it's not okay to belittle us, especially if you came from us. So I can agree with a lot of that that was in there. I do agree that men should not be, disrespecting women on their way out. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Captain Hunter, would you advise it? No, I wouldn't. For the things I said. If you're a single guy and you're on your game, on your grind, I would not advise it. If you're an older guy, such as myself, who's trying to get back out there and your kids are grown, you've got grandkids and all this, I wouldn't advise it, particularly for those whose kids are school age. Now, as an older guy myself, maybe if I ran into someone whose kids are raised on this freaking thing, these hornets. I got to get back to this. If my kids if their kids are raised like mine, and we can, then I don't think that's problematic. I also, but if you're a guy who's 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and you've got kids of your own, whether you're raising them yourself or whether you are, or you have an ex or child's mother out there, then why would you disrespect these women, and why would you not consider getting with these women, right? What's good for the goose has to be good for the gander. So let me know your thoughts, your opinions, and check out that Courtney Michelle video that I did, and check out the video I did about Kurt Franklin and the importance of having a father, right? So until next time, much love and peace, everyone.